Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and we are back out on another mulching job, and we have got a bunch of ditches to mulch. Well, two. It's really just two really pretty long ditches. So I'm back out on a property. I have not been out on this property doing any work in like 3 years. If you're familiar with the channel from way back when, you might recognize this property. So let's just take a quick look at what we got, and we'll get to mulching. All right, we are out here on this beautiful little pond property. The owner here has got a ton of property. It goes way back that way, and then all that over there. Some of it's been logged recently, but it's got this really pretty pond on it. I came through here with the old John Deere. We mowed this field back in here a few years ago, and then we also did some mulching in that tree line back in there with the mini, and then I cut a path through the swamp back there as well. I also mulched this ditch, but I didn't really mulch the ditch itself. We just mulched a path through here, or cut a path, mowed a path through here, remowed it. I don't remember if I filmed that or not, but basically what we've got here, there is a drainage ditch. This ditch kind of acts as like a overflow of sorts somehow to control this pond. It goes all the way down, and it connects with a ditch that's out there on a road that's out there, and then that ditch goes down, goes to some big stormwater pipes, crosses up underneath the road, and drains off naturally into a swamp that's on the other side of the road. So basically the client, he's like the real estate person, wants me to mow this ditch or mulch this ditch all through here, clean all this up so they can get through here, and then we're going to go out to the road and mulch that whole ditch down, and then we may even have to clean that out to get this water to start flowing like it's supposed to. So that's what we're doing. So I got the mini over here with little Munchie, and the brush cutter would have worked good for the size of material that we're doing. None of this is big stuff, it's just little brushy stuff. But once we get out there to the road, I don't want to be throwing stuff out there to the road, because there's a school that's down the road there, and really all that road is just the access road to that school. And I know people are going to be coming and going probably this afternoon, picking up their kids and stuff, and I don't want that brush cutter throwing stuff all out in the road. So the mini, the mulcher is a lot better for that. So that's what we're doing. So let's hop in the machine and start grinding some brush. everyone. Do a little quick in-cab commentary. We are making our way down this ditch line. It's really nothing big in here. I've kind of gotten past some of the brush that was up there at the front. Most of this is just some blackberry briar and some dog fennel and just a bunch of nonsense, really. Not much to it. I'm trying to open up this little path down here at the bottom, because what I'm on is basically like the all the spoils from when they dug the ditch. And then, so we're on top of this hill here, right here, and then this is sort of like a little low trail that's just big enough for like a side-by-side. And that's basically, when I mowed this, I just basically walked the skid steer kind of right down this line. And I really didn't cut the ditch itself. We mostly just mowed this path. But it looks like we're gonna have to do some ditch cleaning out up there at the road with the bucket. He definitely wants me to mow it or mulch it, whatever. But we're making pretty good progress. The mulcher's just going through this stuff pretty quick. Not much to it. Right over here in the shade between these trees is nice. We got a little rain coming tomorrow. I've got a small mulching job to do with the skid steer tomorrow. My mechanic buddy Greg came and did the service on the skid steer yesterday. He did the 250-hour service, just changed the oil and the oil filter and the fuel filter for me really quick yesterday afternoon. So it's got a fresh oil change in it. She's ready to go. I change the oil in that machine every 250 hours. And I do the mini about the owner's manual for this excavator says 500, but I do it every 250 to 300 hours. Just because I typically, I'm usually running it pretty hard doing these mulching jobs or mowing jobs, and I'm typically running it wide open. So I change the oil about every 250 to 300 hours. I'm gonna go, I got about another 25 hours and I'll be right at 300 hours since last oil change. So probably, depending on how much I use this machine the rest of the month, which is April 2nd, this machine will probably get an oil change probably sometime this month. Trying to keep this stuff out of the ditch as much as I can. Though you can't keep it all out. You just have to do the best you can. Serviced in this line of work. You gotta keep fresh oil in it. You gotta change your filters. It just helps the life of the machines so much. So much. Gotta do it. Shocked when my client bought that ASV a couple months ago, and we went up there and that guy's like, yeah, it's been 600 hours since it had an oil change. And I was like, what? I was like, dude, how hard is it to change the oil? I mean, that's simple stuff. That's easy stuff. I just have Greg or somebody like that do it, or John Deere or whoever, because I'm not a mechanic. like for a mechanic to do that stuff, so if when they're going through it, if they see anything else in there that might need attention, they can catch it, because I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. So I like to have someone who's more qualified do that kind of stuff, because then they can maybe catch something that I would miss, and we can catch it early and it not be a bigger problem. So that's just my thing, but you know, it's still not hard to get, you know, people do mobile service, they can come to you. I mean, it's not hard to get somebody to change the oil in a machine. That's not a hard thing. We're not talking about a big piece of equipment. You know, it's not like you gotta put that skid steer on a low boy or nothing to get an oil change in it. You know, you can easily take it down to any dealer. You know, it doesn't matter who it is, and they can do an oil change. But that's just me. Some people just do what they want to do. I've been very fortunate to have, you know, not too many issues with stuff like that, as far as just keeping the oil and fluids and all that stuff good. This Kubota that I've noticed, it burns no oil. I have never had to put oil in it between oil changes, ever. It's just never needed it. I check it about every other time I use it, typically, and I have never had to put oil in it. I have had to put a little bit of oil in the ASV, not much, but just a little bit. It wasn't in a danger zone, but before the last service it got, it was a little low. And so I had to put a little oil in it here and there, but nothing major. But I've never had to put oil in this Kubota between oil changes. I've had to put hydraulic oil in it because I've sprung some leaks, but I've never had to put engine oil in it. Down this ditch, it's looking pretty good. That's about how much we've got done so far, so I'm really happy with the progress. So let's just keep it moving along, and we'll take a look when it's done. Okay, so we got all this mulched out and mulched down and opened up. That is not the straightest ditch in the world. You can see there it kind of meanders all over the place, but we got it done. And so here's the ditch along the road. Now this ditch, that side of the ditch actually belongs to the school board, because the school down there, but this side of the ditch I guess is theirs. But I can mulch this little bit through here mostly until I get to that gate, but we'd have to find a way to do the rest of this all the way down. I'd have to find a way to get across this ditch, which I could go back to that swamp trail that I cut a few years ago and track back down to it. That might be what we have to do, possibly. I'm not sure. The client will be here in a bit. We'll just kind of go over, we'll see what he wants to do. But you can see this ditch it's been a while since it's been cleaned out. So it's got a lot of stuff in it. I don't know, we'll find out, see what they want to do. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're not messing with anything out there on the road, but the client wants me to kind of cut this back just a little bit where these swales are, knock that down, and then I'm gonna try to just kind of really I don't even want to take out those big trees. I just want to kind of see how that water goes through there. I'm gonna just kind of mulch that back just a little bit on that one. There's one more there and one more right there where the mini is, and we're just going to try to clean these up and get this, because this is all low in here and kind of holding some water, and we're going to try to just clean that up a little bit to get this water to drain down. They're trying to get this property dry, so I'm going to clean up this little swale here too, mulch a little bit of this stuff down, try to get this water to drain a little better, because this is all clay in here. It's all clay. I mean, it's basically molding clay in here. So this is the one place we have clay. Well, one of the few places that has clay around here. Most everything we have is sand. But this is one spot that's got some really gunky clay in it, and it's just holding a lot of water. So let's mulch some stuff down and make a little drainage. Okay, I swapped the mulcher out for the smooth bucket. It's one of the handiest things I've ever invested in for this machine. So I've got what, 2 or 3 3 or 4 swales I gotta just dig out really quick. So this shouldn't take too long. Just gonna try to dig out this little bit, try to get it down into this swale and get it flowing into this ditch right here. So, or into that ditch. So let's see if we can't get this cleaned up. All right, we are done. Got those little swales cleaned out. These two right here are not carrying any water at the moment. I don't even really know how much they do carry. Maybe during a heavy rain they might carry some, but those two up there are actively carrying water right now down into the ditch, which is good. So hopefully that'll start to dry. It's basically from about where that pine tree is right there on back. That's all wet back there. All this back in here I can tell is dry. So these swales are here, but I don't know if they're really actively carrying water, but I cleaned them out anyway. But those two right there are definitely carrying water, and that should help that a lot. So that'll be good. So we may be doing some more work out here They're talking about maybe wanting some grid lines cut back into this area back here, so we may be back with either this machine or the skid steer at some point to cut some grid lines. I'm not sure when that's going to be. Well, I just have to see what they want to do. But that's what, yeah, that was the job. So I thought we were going to have to do some work up there on the road, but the client kind of just changed his mind on all that. So, so yeah, this turned out well. They talked about maybe having this sprayed, so I'm gonna call Greg and have him come by and take a look and try to give a price on getting this sprayed for them, so all this stuff can die, because it's all of it's going to grow back except for the few pine trees I ground. So most of a lot of blackberry briar and that kind of stuff, so it needs to be gone. And this should stay, you know, it'll stay a lot drier if we can keep the vegetation down. So that's that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and more stuff to come this week. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We'll see how much rain we get. I had a very small mulching project scheduled, but we'll see if we get to that. I'm gonna cross this. Come on, don't fall. There we go. I'm supposed to have a small mulching project tomorrow, so we'll see if that ends up happening or not. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna call a client here in a bit. So I will check you guys on the next one. I got some more stuff to come this week, so stay tuned, and I will check you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.